Welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and today's story comes from Superman 133, published in November 1959 with story by Jerry Siegel and art by Al Plastino. Have you ever wondered how meek, timid Clark Kent got his job as reporter for the Daily Planet when he first moved to Metropolis? For the inside story, we take you behind the scenes and reveal for the first time how Perry White hired Clark Kent. Now, this one is quite a story, so buckle up. Mr. White, my name is Clark Kent and I want to become a reporter on the Daily Planet. Sorry, young man, but we have nothing open for you. What we need on this paper is another Superman. Perry, at least give him a chance. So, Clark Kent is just now arriving in Metropolis and got himself an apartment. By the way, Mr. Kent, this is his landlady. What do you do for a living? Do you have a job? No, not yet, Miss Smith, but I hope to get one soon. So, he's early in his career doing some super feats, and his landlady is still wondering how he makes money. Uh, and he's considering what kind of job could he get. I've got it. I could become a reporter on the leading paper in Metropolis. As a reporter, I could investigate criminals without their suspecting I'm really Superman. So usually these stories kind of jump from Superboy to Superman. But there are some stories of him in college, so I'm wondering what kind of degree did he get? I feel like he should have kind of thought ahead and just got like a journalist degree. But he goes directly to Perry White. So you want to work for the Planet, eh? You and 100 other people. Why should I hire you? Because I would do a great job, Mr. White. I admire your paper so much I know every big scoop it has ever printed. Sounds impressive. So Perry White doesn't believe him, but he's able to just recite every headline going back to 1935. Hold it while I check the file. So he's correct, but it's not even his memory he's using. He's actually using his X-ray vision to read old newspapers. So that's quite a cheat. But Perry White is kind of unimpressed, which I agree with him that a super memory or a photographic memory is not a reason to become a reporter. All right. Hop down to the Metropolis Zoo and get me a great yarn about old Bongo the gorilla. Yes, sir. So Lois is telling him there's no story there, and he's like, I don't care. He's trying to get rid of Kent. So he goes down there, and poor old Bongo is quite old. But they also have Ferocchio. He's a wicked one, near tore my arm off one day. Look at those ugly eyes, those powerful hairy arms, and vicious teeth. Scary, eh? And so the woman and her boy run off because he's so scary. So Superman puts on a gorilla costume, gets in the cage with Ferocchio, and just punches him out. And then dumps him in the back of the cage so he can't be seen. So I'm assuming he's out for at least a few minutes. So that's quite a blow to the poor noggin of Ferocchio, who probably carries that concussion the rest of his life. But then Superman, as Ferocchio the ape, bends the bars and attacks poor Bongo. Poor Bongo, he looks terrified. But Bongo, I guess in his panic, fights back and beats up Ferocchio. Ha ha, Ferocchio has stumbled back into his own cage. He's bending the bars back into shape again. He's scared stiff of old Bongo. Hooray for old Bongo. So, I don't know. He does make a story, a weird story, but I feel like he kind of didn't help any of the animals, poor Ferocchio and Bongo. So Perry White just thinks it's pure dumb luck, and he says, okay, so I'll be fair. Look, Kent, the Worley Brothers Carnival opens tonight in Metropolis. Look it over and bring me a super-duper yarn. I will, Mr. White, thanks. So he's going to go to a carnival and look for a story. And it turns out that the Ferris wheel is stuck. Passengers in lower gondolas can escape, but two blind kids in the top gondola are hopelessly marooned. I'm not blind, but I would wonder why, if you are blind, you would have an interest in going on a Ferris wheel. But these two blind boys are up there. So Superman is able to get the wheel going again and then goes up, changes back into Clark Kent. It took me a while to figure out what was going on. He gets in the gondola with them, which, okay, I don't know why he did that. So this reporter says, "I'm from the Clarion. How about an exclusive eyewitness story? Read it in the Planet. I was assigned here by that newspaper." So the boys should be like, "Hey, we were alone in the gondola, and then this guy just magically appeared with us." So they're blind, but I assume they're not like lacking in any self awareness. So he produces another story, which I assume the headline is Ferris Wheel Stops Briefly. Sure, it's a swell story, is it? But what were you doing up there in the gondola enjoying yourself? And that's where I figured out that he was up in the gondola. Instead of looking for news stories. If you ask me, you were goofing off instead of keeping your mind on the assignment. So Perry's still not impressed. Please give him one last chance. All right, Lois, but if Kent muffs this one, muffs it, he's through. So he wants a picture of Superman with kryptonite, which he happens to have a box of kryptonite that he got from the anti-Superman gang. He opens the box and Kent just passes out. Kryptonite, the only substance which can destroy me, have just enough strength to use super ventriloquism to make my stomach rumble. So he does super ventriloquism to make it seem like he's starving, and so he really does need a job. Um, so Perry White says, "What an appetite! He's famished. Man, look at him gulp down that 5-pound steak." Oh my God. Okay. Um, I've heard of a 16-ounce steak. So he still wants that picture of Superman with the kryptonite, but he takes the real kryptonite, dumps it in the ocean, and then replaces it with fake kryptonite. The trick is to press the shutter lever and whiz into a pose before the camera quicker than the shutter can click. Gasp! Great Caesar's ghost! You did it! But how come the kryptonite uh, didn't knock Superman flat? Because someone must have swindled the anti-Superman gang into paying good money for imitation kryptonite. Just what I thought they'd think. Kent, it took plenty of ingenuity to track down Superman and talk him into posing for that picture. My boy, you've got what it takes. You're hired. Congratulations, Clark. Welcome aboard. But don't be surprised if in the future I snatch many a scoop right from under your nose. And so I'm sure someone out there who spent years in college with a journalist degree has now had it stolen from them by Superman.